Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to the Hubbubbrief for today. Dan, did you know that Hubbubbrief and Hubbubbery, they have four B's in the words? Have you ever heard of a word that has four B's in it? What were we thinking?
It is one of those things where it's like every time I have to spell it,
Yeah.
I had to come up with my own like mnemonic device just to
Yes.
be able to tell people what it is. I don't know.
I don't think
Yeah.
you've actually shared that on our show. What
Oh,
is yeah,
it's Hubbubbery.
that's a good device right
It's the
there. I
only
do
way
like it.
because otherwise I'm like Hubba. Let me try to
Yeah.
remember
Who
how we
knows?
came up with this.
Yeah. Anyway, this whole episode isn't about just talking about bees and our name and all that. Um, but there's something else you had on your mind, wasn't there, Dan?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if you know, but I'm gonna ask you. How many days is it till Comic Con?
It's probably a certain number of days, but I
Okay.
don't have a countdown clock or app or anything. So do you know how many?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Preview night is in 4 days. This is we're recording this on Monday, July 20th, and on Thursday, July 23rd. Well, preview night's July 22nd, so it's actually Wednesday. But
Yeah.
Comic Con starts Thursday, July 23rd through the 26th. Oh, I mean, full disclosure, we should tell everybody by the time they watch this, it might be old news.
Right.
Uh, you know.
Yeah, I mean, leaks happen, panels get added. There was one piece of news that just came out today that we'll talk about in a little bit. That's how it works around here.
Mhm.
So we're going to do our best, get
Yeah.
you a few day old information because that's how we do things here. And I think we'll have some fun with it here.
Yeah, I mean, just everybody should just consider this our best read as of right now. So we'll either look like geniuses or fools.
Yeah. So the usual, just not the genius part. I'm not sure if we ever get that, but hey, let's get into it.
Fair enough. Okay, let's talk
All
about
right.
the big one.
The big one. Okay. Yeah, let's start at the big one. That's probably a pretty good place to start. The big M in the Hall H, right?
That's right. Marvel's back in Hall H.
Yeah. So Saturday, July 25th, 5:30 p.m., Kevin Feige, whole host of guests, and presumably a lot of Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah, so we're not going to do the full breakdown today. There's a whole separate brief once it actually happens.
Yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back and give you a little
hmm
detail. Actually, once there's some
hmm
legitimate stuff to talk about,
hmm
but it's happening, right? So, and
hmm
it's the reason half the internet is holding its breath this week.
Yeah, and this is kind of momentous because I don't know if you know, but Marvel, they weren't there last year. They didn't make an appearance in Hall H. So it's kind of a big deal. Obviously, they've got some stuff coming up, but we just want everybody to kind of just, stay tuned for that one. But by next week, who knows what they're actually going to talk about? And you know why?
No, why?
Yeah, because as of early today, Monday, July
Yes,
20th, in the AM, not only did tickets for Avengers Doomsday go on sale, and they're going, um, but we had the trailer. We have an actual trailer. This is the one they shared at CinemaCon. So
right?
now I've watched it. I watched it a couple times. Um,
Yeah,
just because the first time I was like, well, there's a lot going on. What about you? Did you check it out?
yeah. Well, we were recording this, and you texted me that the trailer had dropped. And well, definitely need to watch it before we start here. So yeah, I watched it a couple times, not in depth.
hmm
I had to squint at some things. Like, is that? Wait, is that? So
hmm
I don't know exactly what I watched. I definitely have a few questions, but definitely a lot of excitement for Doomsday. There's an awful lot to unpack in that trailer. But first off, okay, so one thing, and I didn't look it up, and I'm hoping maybe the opening voice of the trailer. I
hmm
had a hunch who it was, but I'm not sure. So, do you have any ideas?
Yes, I do. That is actually Robert Downey Jr.
Okay.
Uh, as Doctor Doom.
That's what I thought. Okay, so that's what I thought, and I told my wife, I'm like, "I think that's Robert Downey Jr. doing, an accent," and she said,
Mhm.
"No, that can't be them." It's like, so I'll definitely rub that in her face once we get off here.
Yeah, yeah, it's Robert Downey Jr. And, I mean, I think it's safe to say that, Doctor Doom, I think similar to, how Thanos as a villain. Thanos was a villain who, what made, Thanos a great villain was he is the hero, in his own story. Well,
Mhm.
uh, Doctor Doom, is definitely at the beginning, somebody who, believes he's in the right.
Right. Yeah, and
So
he's so I'm not as well versed in comic book lore and Marvel and everything. I know you have a long history and read a lot of the comics,
mhm.
but Doctor Doom is primarily a villain in Fantastic Four world, right?
Right, primarily in Fantastic Four, but, Doctor Doom appeared, all over the place, Captain America,
Hmm.
Spider-Man, so this is the character that I mean, he is sort of the big bad. For Marvel, he is probably the top tier of their villains, and not so much by threat level, but just by, notoriety. I mean, Doctor Doom and Red Skull, they were like early, and Loki, all the early, villains. So,
Yeah,
that's the
it's
big one.
exciting. Yeah.
It is exciting. I'm really curious now since they premiered the trailer. I'm kind of curious, like what they're gonna do there.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Well, and just top level, a little bit from the trailer. I mean, before we even get back to Comic Con stuff, some certainly exciting stuff with Loki appearing again. You mentioned
Hmm.
him. Um,
Hmm.
the Steve Rogers, Captain America, at the end there,
Hmm.
looking very different from the teaser trailers that we saw a while ago. So in the teaser
Hmm.
trailers, he was freshly shaven. It seemed like that was taken from when he had gone into that other multiversal kind of region
Hmm. Hmm.
at the end of Endgame. But now this, we're seeing him full beard, full long hair, sort of. What was it? Was it? What movie did he kind of look like that? Was that Civil War or Winter
Oh,
Soldier?
that was actually in, Infinity War.
Infinity War. Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's where
yeah,
he had, like, blacked out his, uniform. The
that's right.
character, when he stopped being Captain America, he was also known as a character, named Nomad, and they didn't
Right.
officially call him Nomad in that, but Nomad,
That's right.
when he basically walked away from the Shield.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
but this one, yeah, now he looks like Guy. I
Yeah.
mean, he's not Captain America. He's not gonna be
Yeah.
Cap. I don't know if we'll even see him, suit up
Yeah.
because there is a Captain America. So,
Right, right.
you
Still
know,
wield, Mjolnir though, so,
yeah, 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 with
he's still got it. Still
with
got it.
ease. So,
Yeah,
uh, yeah, it's a lot going on. A lot of different universes. There's actually
right.
three in from three different universes represented in the trailer. So,
Yeah, yeah, so you got, X-Men, our
mhm.
own was it 616 still
Yeah.
universe,
Mhm.
and Fantastic Four now too, right? So, um
Yeah, which, by the way, Fantastic Four, the last time we saw that, I mean, that movie was set in the '60s.
yeah,
So,
lot
not only
lot
a
of
different
lot of
universe,
stuff. Yeah,
very different time.
right.
I'm sure they're aware. They
Yeah,
probably
they
know.
have a lot to explain or not, or do whatever. So, all that to say,
Mhm,
we have this trailer, like you said. What's going to happen at Comic Con now that this is released, and there are a lot of questions. I'm sure a lot of
mhm,
people have questions, and it'll be interesting to see what comes out of Comic Con in
yeah.
regards to Doomsday and Marvel.
But you know what? Speaking of Mjolnir, um, there's some other big swings,
Okay.
and this one is kinda surprised. This is new. Um, one of the people, or one that people might be sleeping on. I think most people don't even realize they're there. Apple TV. Apple is making their
Mhm.
debut at Comic Con.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting too. Has Apple ever even been in Hall H? Well, at Comic Con or at Hall H before?
No, no, this is their first time, and it's like I think they're set for a 2-hour block. But I
Oh,
mean, you kind of, if we look at their output of programming,
mhm.
um, uh, Silo, for instance, and Widow's Bay, which was a huge hit.
Yeah.
Dark Matter is another one. I
Mm.
mean, and they've been hitting them out of the park, kind of
Yeah.
pretty consistently.
Yeah, they've done a great job. I love Widow's Bay. I haven't watched Silo yet, and definitely need to get into that. I was not a fan of Dark Matter. I don't want to get into it. I did not like that show. I'm sorry, fans of Dark Matter. But Severance, Pluribus was fantastic.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
they're doing a lot. Yeah, and I don't think maybe getting as much notoriety as they should.
no.
So it's great seeing them coming into Hall H. It's not just Marvel and DC anymore. You got some new friends there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it feels like, Apple is taking a moment and planting a flag. It's just different to see Apple presenting themselves as a network or an entertainment provider versus hardware or software. I mean, Apple, they've been doing the convention circuit
Mm,
forever, so this
yeah.
is kind of a new angle for them. But
Hmm.
we'll
Yeah.
see. They've been succeeding pretty consistently since
Yeah.
they launched.
So do you think like they'll fake out people and announce most everything, and then they'll say one more thing?
One
You think they'll
one
do
more
that?
thing.
They should.
Oh, man, if they wanted to do anything, they could just, go ahead and unlock the warehouse that has all those new Apple TVs they've been sitting on for about a
Yeah.
year, but this is
Yeah.
a hardware thing,
Right.
so, yeah,
I
I don't
know.
know. I don't know what the one more thing would be,
Yeah.
but
I don't know.
we
Maybe it's
shall
sending
see.
you that Apple TV that you've been crapping about for a while.
This 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 could be, this is probably the thing that's gonna, this is gonna turn the corner. This is gonna make that
Yeah,
happen.
I think so.
I can't. The numbers are gonna be too high on this video,
Yes.
and they'll be like, we gotta.
Yeah. I'm holding out hope for you. But
Yeah.
Apple, not the only big streamer out there. Another one throwing its weight around. You got Amazon coming out with Prime Video. They've got a Friday Hall H slot as well. So
Mhm.
with two genuinely massive things that they're going to present.
All right. So what are they cooking? What do they have on deck?
Well, I haven't read too much into this. I've been meaning to, but they have Blade Runner 2099. So that's pretty big. Michelle Yeoh, Rings of Power season 3, same panel, same hour there.
All right. I mean, that's a lot of IP in one room.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Cast crew, likely trailers for both. So that will definitely be another big swing for sure.
yeah. Now, what's interesting is they're just coming off of a finale. What for the boys
Hmm.
that just ended. Although I do believe that they have and I guess we'll see if they talk about it. I think they have a prequel series that's happening.
Did not know.
That's a franchise that they're just going to keep trying to milk. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. So they've got this prequel series that's going to be set. I believe it's the early days of Soldier Boy. If you're familiar with the character,
Hmm. Yeah.
who's basically an X-rated Captain America
Yeah.
essentially. But
Hmm.
I mean, actually, he was the highlight of that last season. Um,
Yeah.
but that series is done. Gen V is done. Invincible still going on, and then yeah, Rings of Power. Now, have you watched Rings of Power?
No, and you haven't given me glowing reviews of it either, so I'm not, enticed to start it right away. But have you? Are you actually caught up on it?
I mean, we might be, but it seems so long in between seasons that like you
Yeah.
forget everything. But also,
Mm.
it's just one of those things. It's like, me personally, it's one of those things. It looks fantastic, and the
Yeah.
performances are top notch. There's no complaints. But with any sort of any kind of prequel,
Yeah.
you're losing the things that aren't familiar. And we saw this like when they did the Fantastic Beasts movies. And everybody
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, but I
Yeah.
really want to see Harry Potter." you know.
Right. Yeah.
Well,
Well, he's not in this, but
yeah.
I don't
And,
care. Yeah.
and we saw this happen with Lord of the Rings with Peter Jackson, when they did The
Yeah.
Hobbit.
The Hobbit.
I
Hmm.
mean, the reaction just wasn't the same. People didn't it just did not resonate as much.
Right.
And that's what this is it's just one of those things where it's like it's early on. So you do see some of the characters, but they're younger versions of themselves, some of the characters that we know. But it's just one of those things where you're like, and we also see a man and Lord of the Rings, man is there's not a lot of like man,
Yeah.
there's elves
Right.
and everything else, but we don't see a lot of men. And
Hmm.
this one, there's a lot of man, and it's like, yeah, no, well, let's get
Yeah.
some elves or some dwarves in here or something.
Right.
Throw
Yeah.
a cave troll at me or something. That's
Yeah.
so it's
I
just
really like the last minute of you talking. You're like, "Where's man?" And yeah, throw some gremlins. I don't know, whatever you got.
it's just
I'm
just
out of
yeah.
context, but now
Yeah.
I'm more enticed to watch it. So
If you if you watch it, you'll just kind of be like, yeah, it's okay. I mean,
yeah,
great production value. I will say that.
got it.
So,
All right. Well,
all
back
right.
back to Comic Con. So there's a big
Yeah.
one that's always
Hmm.
out there at Comic
Hmm.
Con. I think you
Yeah.
know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you
It's all right. So the contrast, and it's always, they're synonymous with Marvel, and we're talking about DC.
think?
Ironically, DC is pretty quiet this year.
Really? So they're not in Hall H with all the big hitters this year, huh?
Well, okay, so James Gunn is actually in the process of shooting Man of Tomorrow.
Okay.
Matt Reeves is working on the Batman Part Two, and that just got delayed.
Right.
Which and this is a movie that was supposed to come out in October 2025. So
Wow. That's not
yeah,
a great sign. Yeah.
yeah. I will say that the last one, and I know a lot of people who did not see that movie.
Yeah.
I think part of the issue is that it's just confusing because people are like, it's the whole
Right. The
Elseworlds.
other, yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
confusing. You're right.
but it was,
Totally.
but it was really well done. But
Hmm.
that's uh, just beginning production.
Yeah.
So we're not going to have a big studio panel, but really it's going to be about Lanterns, which is the TV show coming to HBO Max in like 4 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't looked too much into that too. I think I've seen one or two trailers, but it looks interesting. So, can't wait for another James Gunn outing to see what he has to bring to us. So definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, uh, I think there's a lot of, people are reading into it a lot more because of the underperformance of Supergirl, and
Hmm.
even that I would challenge because I think people need to probably we have to start looking away from just box office
Yeah.
numbers, when, these companies are also when they have, a horse in the streaming game, because that's where honestly they make box office is starting to become secondary. I mean, Disney
Hmm.
is a great example of that. They're yeah,
Right.
Mandalorian and Grogu did well, but people say, "Oh, it's a failure. That's the end of Star Wars." It's like, no, they're just waiting until this week when it hits Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Masters of the Universe is another example. Everybody was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that bombed," and Prime is already ready to get working on the sequel because they know that once that hits Amazon Prime, the streaming numbers are gonna be massive.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, DC's doing the same thing. I mean,
Right.
that's why Lanterns is getting, the lion's share of this, Comic-Con.
Yeah. So, not a big presence at Comic-Con, in
No.
terms of, what you might typically expect, but they'll be back, right? And,
Yeah.
it's just a
Uh,
little different this year.
yeah, definitely. Alright, what else we got?
What else? What else? What else we got? Well, one more, in a big shakeup section here. Star Trek. Star Trek's a big one. Have you heard of Star Trek, Dan?
Now, is that with, Captain Crank
Yeah,
and Mr.
yes.
Mr. Mr. Spork?
Right. That is, you nailed it. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. So Captain Crank and Mr. Spork, they have a 60th anniversary panel going this year. And
Oh.
that sounds like it'll be pretty big.
Actually, I have a huge, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I am also, I'm bi, when it comes to Star Trek and Star Wars. I like the
Yeah.
wars and I like the trekking. And this is going to be
Yeah.
60 years of trekking. So, honestly, I've got my fingers crossed that maybe that, we'll hear something from their theatrical side of the yard and get that a little
Yeah.
cleaned up because it's been kind of quiet for a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk. Oh man, what was it? 2 or 3 years ago, with the Chris Pine series and trying
Mhm,
to get
mhm,
another sequel
mhm,
greenlit, and that fell
mhm.
apart. I don't know, once or twice, and yeah.
Yeah, did you know in fact, I'm glad you mentioned that. They were even talking to, Chris Hemsworth
Oh yeah, yes, I do
because he
remember that.
played yeah, people forget that
He played that
he's
Captain Crank, or
he Captain Craig, yeah, his dad. He
his dad.
played, he played, James Kirk's father, and they were gonna
Right,
do some sort of time travel thing where, and I was like, "That's a brilliant idea," because they're like, when they made that Star Trek, the J.J. Abrams,
right.
the, Kelvin
2009.
timeline is yeah,
Hmm.
when they made that one, um, Hemsworth was a relative unknown.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
So
but
so I was
he
like,
had a
"That's a great idea."
presence. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
was
he
the
had a presence from the get go in that movie.
yeah.
So and
Oh,
oh
yeah,
my
he's
gosh,
like
I
on
remember
screen,
seeing
what,
that.
5 minutes, and he's great.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember seeing that in the theater, and you're going into Star Trek. Oh, it's new Star Trek, and then like 10 minutes in, you just like gut wrenched,
Mhm. Oh,
and with
yeah.
the opening scenes of that. But Chris Hemsworth
Mhm,
was a
mhm,
huge reason for it, and gave a
mhm,
great
mhm.
performance, short lived as it were. Yeah. So anyway, a lot of that fell apart, obviously, but they, I think for Comic Con, right, they have Strange New Worlds, the cast, plus
Mhm.
talent from across the franchise. Again, full anniversary celebration, 60 years worth, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is the kinda, panel that, probably, could run long, but, in the best of ways. You got 60 years of history, and it'd be kinda cool if, maybe they announced that they would do the legendary Quentin Tarantino script.
Okay, so uh, don't hate me, but I'm not familiar with the legendary Tarantino script. Can you
Yeah.
explain this to me?
I mean, Simon Pegg has talked about it, but Quentin Tarantino, huge Star Trek fan, wrote a script. Now it was an R-rated Star Trek. I mean, of course, it was
Yeah,
like, and my suspicion was it was probably like a Tarantino movie that happened to be, in Star Trek.
yeah.
Uh, so it would be like I think there's probably some compromises there,
Hmm.
just because, well, you got Tarantino, so it's like, well,
Right.
no, who's Steve Buscemi gonna play?
Yeah.
But yeah, so he did write a script, but he actually decided that he didn't want to make it because he didn't want that to be his 10th movie because he's got that whole "Oh, I'm only making 10 movies."
Yeah, right. Yeah, so you didn't want to waste it on Star Trek, I guess. But yeah, it'd be cool to have that see the light of day sometime. But I think, didn't Shatner say something about that recently?
Yeah. 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 Yeah, I think somebody asked him point blank, and he was like, "No, it's past its time." So,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
so so, rest in peace to that hard R gangster fan Star Trek movie we're never gonna get. But I will say, if anybody, and this something leaked out today that we'll probably hear a little bit about, Lego, and Star Trek are in cahoots. Now, recently they made, the Enterprise D from Next Generation, but if
Mm.
anybody is so inclined, if they went out there and they type Lego Star Wars, you're gonna see some pretty cool stuff.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Trek.
Star
Did I say
Trek,
Star
okay.
Wars? Yeah,
Just then. I think you said Star
no,
Trek
Star
earlier, it's
Trek.
alright.
Yeah. I
Okay,
mean,
I'm gonna
Lego's
have
in
to do
cahoots
that.
with both. They've got,
Yeah,
I mean, they're like, "You know what? We got both
yeah,
sides." You know why? Because they're open-minded to,
yeah. Well, there was a time, when their, upper levels said, "No licensing," and,
Uh-huh.
yeah, they're not saying that anymore. Yeah.
No.
No, no,
No.
no.
No. No.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, I think they probably learned their lesson. It's like, I mean, and they make quality stuff, so it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
like, I mean, it's not like they're like just putting out cheap stuff and slapping like the a logo on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This is
Oh
this, you will
yeah,
believe it.
it's
Right.
the Star Wars bar. You
Yeah.
know,
No, they
so
do a great job.
no.
Well, hey, what else? Is there anything else going on Comic-Con, other stuff?
You know what? I'm glad you asked because this is actually the moment where we talk about things that we call the other stuff.
Oh, wow, wow. I nailed the title of that one, didn't I? It's good. I like it already. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. So there's a full Steve Ditko retrospective panel. Now,
Mhm.
Steve Ditko is essentially the co-creator of Spider-Man.
Right, right.
Who's getting his, let's say he's getting his flowers, and he's well due. His actual nephew is going to be moderating part of this.
Mm. Oh, that's fun. So what's the point of the panel here? What's happening?
Most people only know him for the time that he spent at Marvel, and this is actually kind of
Okay.
surprising. He was only there 4 years. He burned out on the Marvel method.
Mhm.
And my Marvel had, they had a certain way of doing things. I don't think it was maybe always the best for the artist.
Mhm.
But he was only there 4 years, and this guy
Okay.
he had a 65-year career.
Wow. So this will be pretty big into. So it's not just talking Spider-Man. I'm sure there'll be
Mm-mm,
a lot of Spider-Man talk, but
mhm.
with a career of 65 years and only four of them being Spider-Man, it sounds like we'll hear a lot from his entire legacy, as it were.
Yeah, this is, and what's great about this is it kind of puts the comic back in the Comic Con because up until now we've been talking about streaming and movies and shows, and that's been happening for a long, long time. But it is kind of nice to see that a legacy artist is going to get his due, and just remind people is like, well, Comic Con. I mean, it's been going on for a long time, and it really was at one point just comics.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that is exciting, kind of going back to the roots, and cheers to you, Mister Ditko.
Mhm.
So, there's another thing on my radar, Comic Con. IDW's doing a whole Godzilla comics panel. There's another comics in there.
There you go. Godzilla is in the comics again.
Yeah, yeah. So, and I know he's been in comics before, a long time. Marvel had him in the '70s, right?
Mhm, mhm,
I think what was it Dark Horse picked it up
mhm,
in the
mhm.
'80s and '90s, and DC. I think they had their own crossover. So he gets around. Godzilla gets around. Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong. So it kind of seems like IDW is laying out their kaiju-sized plans, going forward now. So Toho's, actually got something in there too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm never gonna say, no to more Godzilla.
No, nobody should.
No, 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 he's having a time,
Yes, he is.
especially with, I think, what have we got? Godzilla
Monarch
minus
on
Monarch, and then
TV.
there's Godzilla minus Zero,
Zero. Hmm.
coming, so, I mean, yeah, they've been, taking care of Godzilla ever since that slight misstep, that of which we do not speak.
Okay. What was that?
The
Speaking of.
the Matthew Broderick,
Oh, yeah.
uh,
How could
90s
I
one.
even ask?
Yeah,
Well,
it is just yeah, it's I actually watched it recently. I'm like, "Well, maybe it
yeah,
wasn't as bad as I remember." I
yeah,
I was right. It was.
yeah,
It's
it
it's just
was.
and I'm sure there's fans.
Yeah.
It's just not it's sort of like they shouldn't call it Godzilla. They could call it something else. Yeah.
Hmm.
They just call it Big G.
Yeah. The
Whatever.
big G. Yeah.
"Oh, here comes Big G," and it'd be like, it's fine."
Yeah. Yeah. There's not as much investment in
No.
Big G as Godzilla.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's fair.
But let me tell you about another Big G. You ready for this?
Okay. Yes.
Because this last one, and this is a fun one for us here, but there's a Lucas Museum of Narrative Art panel.
All right. I'm not sure what that means. Go on.
Okay, so George Lucas, Big G, George
Oh, I do
Lucas.
know George Lucas. I am aware
Yeah.
of him. Yes.
So he has been working on this incredible museum. And it's not just Star Wars, and it's not just George Lucas stuff, but it's devoted to narrative art. It's going to have everything. It's going to have movies. It's going to have TVs. It's going to have storytelling. Um, he's been working on this amazing museum for years, and it's going to be opening soon. But the cool thing about this is that Seth Green is actually hosting the panel.
Okay. Seth Green. I mean, yeah, he's been in a lot. So why would that matter to us specifically?
Okay, so Seth Green, he voices Howard the Duck in the
Mm,
MCU
yes.
today now.
Right. Hmm.
And just, FYI, just throwing this out there for anybody who's paying attention. Uh, here's a peek into the future. We may or may not have a certain duck related episode in the works
Right.
ourselves.
Yeah. That Daffy Duck. He's pretty sure he's gonna be making not Daffy Duck.
Yeah.
I'll guess again later. That's okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
So everybody just, watch this space. Okay.
Yeah.
But here's what's exciting. So Seth Green developed a show called Star Wars Detours. And there's little clips and snippets that have kind of crept out that people can find. But this was like a comical take on the Star Wars universe. And
Yeah.
this was made directly alongside George Lucas.
Okay. I don't know this one. I mean, is it kind of like was it Adult Swim, the Robot Chicken kind of era?
I'm glad you mentioned that because I don't know. A lot of people don't realize that when they had George Lucas on Robot Chicken,
Yeah.
that was George Lucas.
Yeah.
It was absolutely George Lucas. He was totally game for it. He's
That's
not a
great.
guy who people think he has a sense of humor. Where I think he has a very funny sense of humor, but it's incredibly dry.
Yeah.
So, he says this thing,
Yeah.
and they're like, "What?" So,
Yeah.
but yeah. So this here's the thing about this. Is the reason you don't know about it is you're not supposed to because this thing never came out.
Okay. So what happened? Why didn't it come out?
I mean, okay. And when I say it didn't come out, it was 39 episodes,
It's
fully
insane.
finished, animated, voice work, music done. And there were
Wow.
62 more scripts written on top of that.
We put a lot into our shows. That's painful to even think about having it just die
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and having none of it air. That's horrible.
Yeah. Yeah. None at all. Lucas's actual pitch for the show was, quote, The Simpsons in the Star Wars universe.
Okay. I mean, I'm in. Are they still somewhere? Let's release these things.
Yeah, I know, and we're talking Anthony Daniels was back as C-3PO, Ahmed Best was back as Jar Jar, Billy D. Williams was Lando, Seth MacFarlane was Emperor Palpatine.
Wow. Yes, I definitely need this. Absolutely.
I mean, everybody needs this, and it got all the way to Star Wars Celebration in 2012 with actual footage shown, uh, and you know what happened that same year?
What? What?
D Disney bought Lucasfilm that
Okay.
same year.
That's right. And then that was it, right? So it was
Mhm.
just at that point, finite. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
canceled. That was it.
Yeah,
Okay.
at that moment, new leadership wanted everything pointed at the sequel trilogy, and, this goofy parody show just didn't fit their plan anymore.
Yeah. So it's just sitting there, dead.
Yeah. Yes, it is. It is just sitting there. Now, Green's talked about this recently, as of this year, and the honest answer is it would need like a pretty technical upgrade to
Mm.
stream today. I mean, this is from quite a while ago. Um, and Disney hasn't seen a reason to spend the money.
Yeah. Well, you could maybe make a case if it was a couple episodes, but seeing as they had, you said, what, 39, and
Yes.
then, yeah, that would take a substantial effort to get those actually in working order.
Yeah. 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 So I'm not saying that we're never going to see it.
Yeah.
Lucasfilm, they've got their new leadership in place, stepping in for Kathleen Kennedy. You've got Dave Filoni and Lin Brennan. I mean, so there is a real chance. Maybe somebody up there decides that this buried thing is worth digging up, especially Filoni, who came from animation.
Right. Yeah. Well, maybe you do seem like an optimist there.
Hunter, this thing needs to be released before I die.
Yeah, that's fair, and I agree.
Yeah. So hey, this might seem like a stretch, but like I said, Seth Green got George Lucas to do Robot Chicken, so
Yeah, here's hope. Can you do one more George Lucas impression there to close out this
I
discussion?
mean, I'd let it go. I mean, why not? You know, I don't
Good.
know.
We need to do a whole episode with you and your George Lucas
I
impression. I
need,
think that's
I
great.
need that. I need a big beard and that plaid shirt.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. All
Oh,
right. Well,
all right.
rounding it out, let's see what George Lucas thinks about this one. Hasbro's got both a Marvel Legends panel and a G.I. Joe panel this year.
Mm. Well, great. And so that's continuing their tradition, because that means that there's always something that's a con exclusive that nobody outside the room can get.
Yes, yes. That tradition again, we all know and love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, we don't like this tradition.
No, we never like it. Never will, unless you're in that room, then I guess you're okay with it.
Yeah, jerks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's another one, and this one's just for me. Geeky Tiki.
Mhm.
You might have heard me talk about them.
Yeah,
Geeky Tiki
I have.
by
Yes.
Beeline Creative. They're debuting 6 new Star Wars Tiki mugs this year.
Yeah. So, okay. I have definitely heard of Geeky Tiki. I hope you've brought one to the table to show our audience.
No,
Is it
no,
okay?
they're all they're all
They're all
safely upstairs on the multitude of shelves that I
okay.
have.
So, yeah. So, explain a little bit more the multitude of
Uh,
shelves. How many of
uh,
these do you have?
I don't know. I mean,
It's not
I
good.
I don't know that I should put a number to it.
Okay.
A few shelves.
Yeah. All right.
Um, and this is okay. I have a substantial collection.
Yeah.
And apparently this is their 10th anniversary. Now I only started, and actually I avoided them because it was one of those things where I'm like, oh, that's dangerous because it's
Mhm.
taking tiki culture and tiki mugs, which I already loosely collected off and on when I'd find them. And then, this company came along and they're like, "Well, if we did Star Wars once." And I
Uh-huh.
was like, "Oh." And in fact, the, owner's name is, Brandon, and I had actually met him and talked to him in person at Star Wars Celebration, when it was in Chicago, and I, walked by and I was like, "Oh, man," a lot of stuff. And, I go, I'm just looking, I don't wanna, start collecting." And he's
Yeah.
like, "Well, why not?" And I'm like, "Well, because Brandon, I'm
Mhm.
gonna start, and then I'm gonna have to, like, get a bigger shelf, and then,
Yeah.
and that's not gonna be enough, and then I'm gonna have to get a bigger shelf." And you know what exactly happened? I had a
Yeah.
nice shelf, and
Uh-huh.
that thing was full within 6 months, and I had
Yeah.
to get rid of it and get another
Yeah.
shelf, and now I had to just put shelves on walls.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you have a whole wall of shelves, and you said a few shelves. You're being conservative there. You have several shelves. But hey, you know what? Who am I? I totally get the collector vibe you have there.
uh,
I have
yeah.
the same issue. So, I'm never going to fault you on that. But hey, you covet these.
I've seen I've seen
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah, yeah.
collections too.
Oh yeah, yeah,
See,
yeah. We're both
so,
that way. But yeah, you clearly, you have a huge collection. You've coveted these from afar, but
mhm,
you've never actually been to Comic Con to get one of these,
right.
right?
No, no, I do have, a handful of the Comic Con exclusives,
Yeah.
and obviously I wasn't there, so, yeah,
Mm.
there's the
Yeah.
yes, let's just
Yeah.
call it, not their tax. We'll just call
Right.
it that.
Yeah. That's
So,
the tradition. Yes, indeed.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it's not just what other not just tiki mugs, right? There are a few other things in terms of the collection. I mean, we've talked about our collections. You have a few other items too,
Yeah.
right?
Well, now, the Hasbro Black Series, we talked about Hasbro, and
Mhm.
they have confirmed that they got the ARF Trooper with the, ATRT vehicle.
Yeah, yeah. You showed me that one. I think we featured that on an earlier Hubbubbrief episode,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was our
So
May the 4th episode. Yeah. Same
right.
one.
Hmm.
But it's real, and it comes with the real price of, 79.99 there.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think? Like 300, 5 maybe
Oh, I mean,
online on eBay?
this is the thing, and you can watch it happen if anybody's curious.
Yeah.
That day, you will see them going up before people have them in hand. They will
Yeah.
be on eBay, probably $300, $300
Yeah.
before they even have them in hand. Because those people are basically like, they're just going to go stand in line and they're going to turn around and flip them. And this is the part of these, exclusives, in Star Wars Celebration, they do it, and artists do it. It's not just, the Funko used to do it. I
Yeah.
mean, lots of, Loungefly does it. I mean, they have that, little window of demand, and then people, a lot of people just turn around and flip them.
Yeah.
We're just, hopefully they will limit. You can't go in and buy like a whole wheelbarrow full and,
Yeah.
push it out and then
Yeah.
just turn
Definitely.
around and yeah, but, this is what happens,
Yeah.
but you'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Oh yeah. Well, and I think they have not to steal your thunder, but they have vintage collection Anakin versus Asajj Ventress, right? The two pack. That's
Yeah.
also I think something we talked
Yeah.
about on our last show. So and the packaging designed to look like an old VHS box set, which is great.
Yeah, I know. That actually takes it the next step because it's like as a two-pack, it's like, "Oh, that's great." I mean, those are, two great characters. Asajj Ventress is
Yeah.
a character that everybody does wanna see in live action, and I would like to see that happen. I mean, how that many,
Okay.
animated characters they brought. Um, but yes, then they do it in this VHS box set, so, ugh,
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah. They didn't make it for us, but it feels like maybe they did. Even if we can't
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah, well, we can get it.
Well, yeah.
It's just yeah, how many zeros they throw it on this thing,
Right.
and we don't even
Yeah.
know the price of that one yet. So,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, that's of like right now. Monday, July 20th.
Right.
The day, Doomsday Tickets and the trailer went live. This is what we know about Comic-Con 2026 right now.
Yeah. So a lot can happen. Who knows? We'll find out. And we're going to be
Mhm,
coming back at you shortly after Comic Con. We're going to do a special episode
mhm.
and get something out to everybody and talk about what actually took place.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be fun because then we can, again, talk about how we are geniuses or fools. Um,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say genius. I'm going for genius.
Oh,
I think that
that's
we're
good.
gonna be like, you know why? Because these are the things that we already know. And we
Yeah.
didn't really make any wild predictions. But if we want to make a
No.
wild prediction, I think maybe because Seth Green is there,
Uh,
maybe somehow we're going to hear something about Star Wars detours. I got my fingers crossed.
okay. I'm holding
Yeah.
out hope you're going to be a genius on this one and not a fool.
Maybe they're just say, oh, you can watch them all if you go to George's museum.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have to make a Hubbubbery trip. I know where we're going.
Right. Yeah. Oh, come on in. Hey,
Yeah.
you can watch them over there if you want. There you
Yeah.
go.
That's good. Well, hey, until we see you after Comic Con, you have any thoughts, anything you're looking forward to, viewers out there? You let us know in the
Please do.
comments.
Yeah.
And George Lucas, you wanna end us here on this
Uh,
hubbub brief today?
hey. Snack bar's closed.
Goodbye.
I know it's so bad.
No, no, it's not. It's good. I like it. I think it's perfect.
Oh
What do you all
god,
think of
stop.
Dan's George Lucas impression? Yeah, yeah. Give us a thumbs up. If you like it, give us a thumbs up on this video. Give us a like. If you don't like it, give us a thumbs up on this video. Go and like it, and we'll know for sure which way you end up on that.
All
All
right.
right.
Goodbye,
Take care.
everybody.
Goodbye.